After you've mounted it, wired it all in and everything like that, you'll want to attach what we call an external antenna. This is what receives cellular signal from the cellular system. The box arrives with this little red boot on it to protect the threads of the connector. It's a simple SMC connector that is all ready for you to just connect the antenna. So just connect the antenna up, twist it a few times. So say this is mounted on the front door here or something. One thing you can immediately see is, and say this is the top of the panel, it's a magnetic base on it. So it'll stick there really hard. One thing that we prefer you do is make it a nice looking installation. So if there happens to be on a particular pump panel things to like wire tie to and make it look nice, use whatever on the pump panel to do that. Some pump panels won't have anything to attach to, so in those cases we recommend you use a little Panduit sticky wire tie base on it. Their little square thing got a hole in it that you can put a wire tie through. You know, stick that to the side of the panel, then tie off to that. The antenna itself, we prefer it to be, say some pump panels are under metal sheds or small lean-tos, that sort of thing. We prefer that you would take the antenna itself and set it outside or on top of the metal shed, or really wherever it can kind of have, what we find is best is anywhere they can have kind of a full look. If you were to look around and you can see blue sky everywhere, that's kind of what we prefer the antenna to be able to see if it had eyes. Of course, like any RF signal, the more metal that it's under, or even big trees could do it, the less that we can avoid that, the better signal we're going to have, and therefore you probably won't have to come back out and fix your installation if there is a problem. Okay, so the last thing we need to do is take some readings from our device after it's connected, make sure that it's installed properly, make sure that we're getting a good cellular signal. You'll notice up top, this is a standard RJ45 port, looks like an Ethernet port. In our case, it's set up to be RS-232 port. However, we do use a standard Ethernet cable, RJ45 connector on the end. So you can get 100 foot of it or however long you need, plug into one end. What you'll get from us is also a USB to RS-232 adapter, which is this, and I see it's tied together, which is the blue part with cable. This other part right here, this gray part, meets up the RS-232 output to our DB9 output to the RJ45 connection. All you simply do is find a USB port on your laptop. And I'm looking around here on this particular one. There's a couple in the bottom, so you just simply plug it in. And you usually see on your computer something saying you've connected a device, or hear a beep or something to that effect. And after you're done with that, you just connect the other end of the Ethernet cable in there. And now you're ready to go see if the installation is good or not. One of the last concerns is what's commonly known as pump backspin. This is after a deep well pump, or essentially any pump that has lifted a large amount of water that might be going uphill, or is able to back flush into the well. So what will happen when you turn the pump off, that water that's already in the pipe will start going back down in the well, turn the impeller on the pump itself, run the motor in reverse. Something bad that could happen is your wiring might have been incorrect, and for whatever reason the pump is back spinning, and you re-enable the device mainly through the menus and try to turn the pump back on while it's spinning. that will probably end up costing somewhere around $100,000 if that happens, because you'll destroy the pump, the motor, possibly the panel itself. Anytime a pump is running and we turn off the box, or you're actually using the switch, either way, anytime you turn off a pump motor, you wait at least 2 minutes before you try to either turn the pump back on with the switch or re-enable via the computer when you're doing your computer tests. While you're there at the pump site, normally is what you'll hear the water going down in the well, and you can see, if you look at the pump motor, look at the shaft coming out of the bottom, you can see it spinning. So when I say 2 minutes, that's just a rule of thumb, but if you can see that the pump isn't spinning, you don't hear anything, and you've validated everything while you're right there at the pump site, then sure, fine, go ahead and try to turn the pump back on, but be careful.